Good evening, my friends. Good evening. Hope I am audible and visible. Now, I will talk on Netaji in Andaman, Netaji in Port Blair. 30th December 1943, whole day Netaji was in Port Blair and in Ross Island. I will discuss now on that topic. Today I will just read from some archival documents. 30th, some archival documents. On or before 3rd February 1943, Netaji left Germany for Southeast Asia. He reached here after about 3 months. 3 months. It is usually known that initially it was told that he left Germany on 10th February or after that. Then it was being told that he left on 9th, then some 7th, all these things. But after perestroika of the Russia, there was engagement of Russian scholars with the British scholars. Because to all these historians, it was an interesting subject that how in that war-torn period, when North Atlantic, South Atlantic, North Sea, all are under control of the Allied forces, how Netaji could come via submarine to Southeast Asia. And in their research, the finality, they saw that Netaji left Germany land on or before 3rd February 1943. And in 43, there are some important works he did. I have tabled that in one of the pages of the pages I have the pages in in my Facebook. Yes, important works are, please, yes, on 19th June 19th June, 4th July, 9th July, 9th July he opened the Indian women's camp for regiment. And on 4th July, to mobilize all our forces effectively, I intend organizing a provisional government of free India, his declaration. 21st October, with the formation of the provisional government of Azad Hind, the Indian independence movement has obtained almost all preconditions of success. Then 21st October 1943, having been constituted as a provisional government of Azad Hind, we enter upon our duties with a full sense of the responsibility that has devolved on us. Netaji. These are, these are the records of the INA in archives. And 7th November, when in Tokyo, after the Greater East Asia Conference, his declaration, by acquisition of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, the provisional government has become a national entity, in fact, as well as in name. On 21st October, when the provisional government of Azad Hind was declared, gradually 9+1 countries gave recognition to a provisional government Azad Hind. Yes, I am telling that list of the recognizing countries. Yes, Philippines, its president Jose P. Laurel recognized. Burma, 25th October. Then China, the Nanking government, 1st November. Croatia, 27th October, recognized. Germany, recognized. Italy, recognized. On 9th November, Manchukuo, that is Manchukuo, part of Manchukuo government of Manchuria, recognized provisional government of Free India. Thailand recognized. And plus, there are 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And ninth is the government of Ireland of De Valera, recognized. And behind the curtain, that is backdoor diplomacy, USSR recognized the provisional government of Azad Hind. And after all these recognitions, a country to have a country needs a piece of land, an independent government, a constitution, an army, judiciary, its banks. They are the components of a country. But when the provisional government of Azad Hind was recognized by these 11 countries, it had no recognition, no land of its of herself. And here, at the end of Far East Asia Conference in Tokyo, that is a Greater East Asia Conference, where Netaji was invited as guest, because India do not belong to this Greater East Asia physically, and also at that time, that's why he was invited as guest. In that at the end of this conference, General Tojo declared that Andaman Nicobar is handed over to the provisional government of Azad Hind of Netaji. And for the first time, provisional government of Azad Hind got its land. Okay. And first condition is fulfilled. And that is on 7th November 1943, after declaration of General Tojo in his parliament, Netaji told, by acquisition of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, the provisional government has become a national entity, in fact, as well as in name. And then he planned, at that time, the headquarter of the provisional government Azadin and of INA also was in Shonan, that is Singapore. Then, after coming back to Singapore, and on the way from Tokyo to Singapore, he moved to other countries, capitals in the Southeast Asia. And after reaching Singapore, he decided to have a tour to Andaman. Andaman. And so far my memory goes, his plane took off from Singapore and reached Port Blair. And that time, for safety of Netaji, it was kept a very secret one, very secret one, secret under Japanese intelligence. It was very secret trip. And I see from records, Netaji's plane reached Port Blair on 29th December. 29th December, yes, as per the National Archives records are concerned. On 29th December 1943, Netaji set foot on the free Indian soil when he went to Port Blair, Andamans. On 30th December 1943, Netaji hoisted the tricolor flag at the Shohid Island, that is Andamans. That Maidan is still is there, is on the seashore. On the seashore. With our slogan, "On to Delhi," our government shifted the headquarters. Then on 30th December, Netaji hoisted tricolor flag on Shohid Island, Andamans. Actually, this Shohid Island, Andamans, is the Ross Island. Ross Island. It is just opposite this Port Blair. The island where Port Blair is situated, just face to face, there is the Ross Island. Ross Island was of the British period headquarter of the High Commission of the British administrator, from where the Britain was administering Andaman and Nicobar. That was the, and there the Netaji hoisted the Indian national flag, and that flag hoisting, I have picture, friends, you see, I have posted in the Facebook. Yes, I have posted in the Facebook. Yes, Andaman and Nicobar to be ceded to the provisional government. That is the declaration by General Tojo, historic declaration at the East Asia Conference on 7th November 1943. Yes, then I will tell you to look into some pictures. Yes, the pictures are, yes, some pictures are here of the Andaman, renamed as Shohid. Andaman is named as Shohid, Nicobar as Swaraj Islands. Then I will go for other records. Yes, other records. And one very important, let me tell, when other records, other pictures, then I will tell a little thing on the issue. the picture of landing of the plane which took Netaji to Port Blair, that I have posted. Yes, I have posted. I have posted. Yes, please see, I have posted. I have posted. Yes, Netaji, I have posted, and that that picture I have posted, and here Netaji being received. Netaji alights from the plane at Port Blair on 29th December 1943. Azad Hind volunteers present a guard of honor to the head of the state. The next page from this island, Netaji is proceeding to the Ross Island, which is the headquarter of the former British Chief Commissioner's residence. I think some of you has gone to this area. Still there, the zoological garden is being maintained, and that is a very small island, zoological garden, and one side of the island being eroded by the massive waves of the sea, and only the old buildings, old forts are still is there, but little number of people do live there, and majority of the buildings are abandoned. Here is a group photo of the Japanese officers and Netaji's people. Then the picture is India's national tricolor proudly floats over the former British Chief Commissioner's quarters at Ross Island. That Ross Island, I think, after my going there, subsequently when Modi ji went there, he has declared it as after the name of Netaji. So possibly it is the Netaji Island, the name Netaji. And then there is some meetings of the Japanese officers with him, some group photos, and his visit to the cellular jail. Visit to cellular jail. That pictures I have given in the Facebook, and the last picture there I have given Netaji behind the inside the, I think some of you have seen the prison cells, very small prison cell without window, without windows, without any ventilation. That's like cage, no light enters that rooms. Rods, strong iron bars in front. Netaji is seen one of the cages there in this, and Netaji on the coast is standing, looking towards our mainland. That picture I have given you, and that is one picture, Netaji and the iron bars of the Indian Bastille. He declared, this is the fall of the Bastille of India. The Bastille of France, fall of Bastille fort of France signified the fall of French royal regime. It signals the French Revolution. At the same time, he calls it the fall of Bastille of India, because in the prison cell of cellular jail, thousands of revolutionaries was kept arrested. It is a prison. Heroes were being imprisoned there. The fall of this cellular jail, he signified as the fall of Bastille of France Revolution, And he told this signifies and heralding the fall of the British Empire in India subcontinent. And then I will go discuss a few things. And in Andaman, he got some very painful news. That painful news is this: Japanese army has misbehaved with some Indians, has arrested some Indians, and killed some Indians without trial. The moment he got these informations, he rang from he he arranged he talked to the government in Tokyo, and he persuaded Japanese government to send some judges to Andaman and see what happened. And after that, the torture of the Japanese soldiers on the Indians stopped. Actually, what happened? What happened before the transfer of the Andaman Nicobar to the hands of the provisional government of Azad Hind? For a period from 1942 to 43, this period Andaman was under the hands of the Japanese. Strategically for naval force is a very important area. This time, when the Japanese was controlling these islands, particularly Port Blair area, Japanese army was seeing that in some vital areas the British American forces are bombing. They suspected that there must be some informer from within. The vital areas where the Japanese arms, Japanese camps are there, how the British force, Air Force, coming to know that. That created suspicion, and that created also anger in the minds of the Japanese military officers. They suspected some Indians. They thought they are the British agents, and subsequently it came to the notice that in the jungle area, in the coast of the Andaman Islands, there was secretly positioned some British ships and some British submarines, to which the suspected Indians was giving informations of the military positions of the Japanese. On this suspicion, they killed some Indians. And now and you see, the transfer of Andaman Nicobar to the hands of the PGI is important for the then government of PGI and also the future of India. Remember, just around 1 decade back, Burma was taken out of the body of British India. Burma, both Burma and Sri Lanka, was part of British India. About 1 decade back, both Sri Lanka and Burma was taken away from the body of the British India. That means these two lands was taken away from the control of the Viceroy at Delhi. Because from that time, British is planning it's how to, if they have to go leave this country, before that India to be divided, India to be weakened. That process started. And think the Andaman Nicobar Islands group, if you vertically line the line up, if you look to the globe, that is in the Bay of Bengal, actually rather Burma and Thailand in the line. The right of the Burma and Thailand is more on the geographically more on the these islands, Andaman Nicobar. But that time it was transferred to Japan, transferred it to the hands of the PGI as demanded by Netaji. And by that process, from that time, it was the property, it was the geographical land of India, British India, India, of India. And subsequently, you see that island, after partition of India, was in the hands of this truncated India. And you see this Andaman Nicobar today is so important for strategic point for our defense angle, and how these islands are we are using today to save our country, also for strengthening our base, our naval forces in the Bay of Bengal and Indian Ocean. Because this island group has given us a base, strong base, to increase our power in the naval power in the Indian Ocean and particularly Bay of Bengal. Because through this area, the other countries navigate for military purpose, for business purposes. That control is in our hands. And that today in Nicobar also we are making strong bases, air base and naval base. And in any question today, I think this important thing, I've given you some pictures. This Andaman, and 29th he reached Port Blair. 29th he reached Port Blair, 29th. And so far my memory goes, the plane took off from Singapore very secretly, landed in Port Blair, and he then also he went to Ross Island. 30th whole day there with different programs, and he left 31st, I think, first 31st. I think he reached again Singapore, and after reaching Singapore, he decided to shift the headquarters of INA to Burma, which is near to the border of India, because at that time our war front was Indo-Burma front against the British forces, where against the INA force and the Japanese force were standing British force, British India force, American force, Canadian force, Australian force, and New Zealand force. So many forces were there. Now, Abhijit Babu, Namaskar. Joydev Babu, Namaskar. Good evening. Let me stop here. And this transfer of the Andaman Nicobar to the hands of the PGI of Netaji is a very vital event, very important event. And that is the first free land of provisional government of Azad Hind of Netaji. And then some free area of Arakan area, free area, that is on the eastern side of the hilly Chittagong, Arakan area. Then came some free area of the Manipur, Imphal Kohima front. But first free land to our hand of Azad Hind government is Andaman Nicobar, where Netaji went on 29th December. He stayed there the whole day, 30th, and I think he left on 31st to come back to Singapore. And all his movements were kept sacred, very sacred, because any disclosure, the American British forces planes are there to attack his plane, or even on the land, there is always chance of bombing his positions. It was a very sacred. It was a very sacred move of Netaji to Andaman Nicobar, Andaman, that is Andaman and Port Blair and Ross Island. And if you go there, I think these historic places are there, you can see it, and I think each patriotic person should go there to all these places which Netaji visited. Also Ross Island, which is now Netaji Island, I think, and also the remnants of the cellular jail. Major part of the cellular jail is dismantled. Only a portion of the cellular jail is still maintained. Let me stop here today. Thank you. Good night. After a few minutes, I will be in Bengali on the topics I have already written. Joydev Babu, let me stop here. Obhijit Babu, please look to the pictures which I have given in the Facebook. Maybe these photos are in books in your personal collections. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, very important event in the liberation process of India. Because a country, a provisional government, a revolutionary government must have a land, must have a land, must have a constitution, judiciary, banks, all these things, step by step, all these things. And it was a complete, it was a complete government, and with it was a complete state. It was a complete state.